This is only a test.
All right, bro. We could get it rolling. Back Dad Podcast, episode 14. I'm underrated. Got my guy Davone with me, man. Moving along, bro. How's your week been, or the weeks in passing since the last time we've been? It's been about 2 weeks since we last recorded. How's everything been going?
Everything was going good. Everything was going beautiful. That's from my uncle. Shout out to my uncle, man. He got me doing this new thing now. Every time he texts me, asks me how I'm doing, I'm supposed to respond back. I'm beautiful. I'm doing beautiful. I'm feeling
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. So,
Mm-hmm.
your attitude determines your latitude, like we said. So that's the mindset right now. Things is beautiful, even when they're not. Even when it's ugly, it's still beautiful. So that's where I'm at right now. Just really in a mode of appreciation and thankfulness. Like it's all working out. Look, see the first episode, I ain't got no hat
Got the
on.
hat, got the hat off. Okay.
The hair transplant. The hair transplant grew in correctly. So
Took
I'm
it to
waiting for.
9-9 on him.
Yeah, I'm saying just waiting for the curls to come back in correctly. Then this is on. But yeah, no, life is good, man. Just really been enjoying it.
Word.
What's
Word.
going on with you and the family?
Same, man. Just taking it a day at a time, man. Like, just again, trying to stay locked in on this, man. Trying to figure out new ways to, like, keep the ship floating. You feel me? But everything is good, man. Me and Jazz are in a good space. Kids doing good. Yeah, just taking it a day at a time, man. I don't got no complaints, bro. I'm just happy. I'm blessed to be here.
Yeah,
I mean, and that with you could kind of feel the fall. I mean, the fall been here for a couple of weeks now, but you can really feel it now. We've been it been a few like good days. However, like I know that the fall normally can be a little like slow, or it's just like So
yeah,
I'm just trying to stay out in front of that and stay in my creative space, because it's all a cycle. We'll before you know it, it'll be spring and summer again. So just
right.
trying to stay focused on a goal, man. Got some fresh ideas that I'm trying to work on. So you know, one day at a time.
Yeah. Oh man, you moving, man. We getting this along. This episode, I think 14. We got one more to go before we do the season finale.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Shout
sir.
out to anybody that's tapped in and watching with us on Facebook right now. Got a good one for you. Main topic of the day. Gonna start
Mhm.
it off.
Okay. Okay.
Polygamy in the black community. It's becoming in some areas acceptable and acceptable to some. Can you get with it? Is it something that you would
hmm
like? He like yeah.
Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
No, I just said, is it something that you could see yourself partaking in? Possibly,
Mhm.
having a second wife, or
Mhm.
whole polygamous relationship, whereas throuple, some things of that nature. So
Yeah.
just
It's funny you asked me that as Jazz. She's rolling in on me. Thank you, babe. All right.
yeah,
So yeah, I would say you're right. I would agree. It is something that is becoming more, I guess, common, if you will. I can definitely get with it. However, I think one of the most important things in any relationship, outside of our physical connections, is that we try to keep God inside our relationships, man. I don't think people really understand how important that is having that relationship with God. It's more than just, as a man having two wives. It's more than like feeding your ego and having multiple people
yeah,
to physically be with. You feel me? It's about being completed as one. You follow me? And sometimes my thing is I can definitely get with that opposed to like cheating.
yeah,
At this age, it's like, if it ain't working, if y'all gonna be with each other rather than being with each other and cheat, maybe, that joint don't seem like too much of a bad idea. However, I'll say this though, and I'm gonna let you go. However, I might be a little biased, right? Because it would only have to be women involved. It couldn't be, I
yeah.
don't know, shit, bro. Like, I'm good with that. However, and like I said, I understand the 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 position it has in certain religions.
Yeah,
Also, so that's my part too. Like a lot of what I see outside of the the religious aspect of it, people do and it may work for them, right? But
Yeah,
however, I think they still have a higher connection. You follow me?
yeah,
Even if it's not through Islam or any other kind of religion that has that a part of their religion, I think that higher spiritual connection is always present. And to me, I think that's important. Period in any relationship. But if that's something that's required to like help heighten the circumstance, let's get it. But no new niggas though. Yeah, we're not
yeah,
doing that.
yeah. Nah. Good. I mean, I'm Muslim, so I'm technically I'm allowed to have four. But it also is very specific in the text that what you have to do for one wife, you have to do for the other. Like it's not you just can't have one and you neglecting her, but you're doing for the other, or you spending certain nights with this one, but you're not spending. So it's like you gotta, if you're in that mindset and you can devote your time or split it up evenly, your finances, you gotta both households, you gotta provide for both, all the children and everything. If you can do all of that, then kudos to you. But it's
Hmm.
just that's sometimes I think a lot of people don't understand that that's a part of the surah that you have to be able to do for one as you do for the other. So I think in just non-religious ways, it's becoming more susceptible as people that are doing it. They're at the throuples, and it's the women with the women, and then they got a boyfriend, or it's so many different ways to it. And I've seen
I'm
some
cool.
people, yeah, no, we ain't about to do that. You ain't about to have a Tony on the side
Yeah,
with
no,
Bobby and Ricky and on the no, we ain't
nah,
doing that. Like,
nah.
So no,
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Is it so? I heard everything you just said. So I want to ask, like, in terms of the religion, right? Because I've just from my own observation or experiences seeing that, right? When men have multiple wives, it seems more common that they have separate households. Is
yeah.
it against the religion to be in one household? And if not, at what point does that become a thing?
No, so they could be in one household and they could have their own separate quarters and certain spaces and things of that nature. And then if you got a thing to bring in, so say, traditionally, from in Islam, it's the man's job to take care of the whole house. But what if you have a non-traditional family where as though everybody's working? Now you got three incomes. Now you got uh,
Mm,
more of a pot. Everybody, we dig in the pot, we take care of the bills. Now the rest is just to split up evenly. So it's so many different ways to it. But then it's mostly to have a different house. Like, you provide house one over here, house over here, you going over here, you staying over here. Like, so it's back and forth. You have your certain days. You got to give a dowry, which is like, basically like a payment to the wife before you even get paid. That's something that they want. Some wives, they just want you to pray with them. Some wives want a Mercedes Benz. So it varies.
yeah, yeah.
It's just, it's a powerful thing personally, I believe, but I don't know. I got the
most
paper for it, but
importantly, most
not yet.
importantly, the connection with God is there. Is
Yeah.
first and
Oh, yeah.
foremost.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
Because you got to think, you're leading the house and you getting blessed by you, and there's more blessings. Whereas though, say if you getting with a woman, she has kids. Now you helping raising her kids. You're getting those blessings to be able to be and provide for her, being a father and a example in the home. So it's so many different ways to it, and then you're giving them an example. Like, look, I could have been out here doing this, fornicating, this and that. We're married. We're a union. Whether you look at it or not, if I have another wife or this, I'm still devoted to you. Like, and I'm not
yeah,
out here messing with other people. So I think it has its benefits to it. It can get tricky, especially if you got some jealous ones and you over there at that house again. Like, hey, like when am I gonna get my day? Like, so
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah. So yeah. I can imagine it has its challenges. You feel me? As well as its benefits.
yeah. I ain't ready yet. I don't think I probably might not ever be ready, but listen, we got another good one for you. I got the stat of the week, and it
Okay.
says that 30 to 31% of African Americans are married, compared to 50% of our counterparts. Also,
Mm.
50% of Black people have never been married. What do you make of those numbers?
Again, we talk a lot about just to compare it to our like our gist here on the Black Dad podcast. We talk a lot about like just grown fatherless children. Period. And just
Yeah.
because you can have a child with somebody and then go off and get married somewhere else. However, my point is that I didn't see it. It wasn't common, with me growing up. I mean, it was there, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like every house, everybody situation was like that. Um, I think those numbers are pretty on point. You feel me? And as far as our generation, shout out to the people who have been blessed enough to cross over to that space and get married. However, I remember like maybe like 10 years ago, I seen a lot of marriages, and those same marriages didn't last long. You feel me? What I will say is from like the older generation, maybe like our grandparents' generation, a lot of them, they stayed together, but it seems like those numbers may have declined over time. You feel me? So I think that sound about right. That sound on point.
Yeah, my theory is the more money you spend on a wedding, less likely it is they're going to be together for a long
Like
time.
that.
I can't tell you how. Look back in the day, our grandparents, they what the thing, just hopping over a broom. That might have been the same broom they
In
just
the
smacked each other over
backyard.
the head with in the backyard. Anything like hopped
Hmm.
over the broom. It wasn't about just they put in these kids' mindsets. Now you got to have a dream wedding, the fancy
Right.
dress, this and
Right.
that. Like,
Right.
shit, man. Me personally, I go get married in the courthouse. My mom ain't got to be there. My dad, I don't care. I'm not getting married to them. I'm getting married to you. But people
I
have
agree.
this mindset now with, oh, my mom gotta be, my dad gotta be there, this gotta be there, this and that. You wasting time. Whereas though God ain't tell you to do all that. He says lead to one family and you start your own. You join two, we join two, become one. People have a mindset about marriage that's just I don't really get. I just personally I believe it's better to be married than to not be married. I think it's for the tax purposes, beneficial purposes, heavenly. You were made in pairs. You were made to have a partner. You were made to
Hmm.
have somebody. So I just think it's really beneficial. I just think it's sad that 50% of black people have never been married, have never even experienced that. And you can all, I think everybody watching or even can attest to, we all know a black woman who's older in age who's never been married. Never. And
Yeah.
that's just the norm to us. Like, that's not the norm in other cultures. Like, whereas though maybe they may be divorced, like, separated, something like that, and
Hmm.
they've been
Hmm.
cheating
Hmm.
on for years. But we got sisters that ain't never been married. Like,
Yeah. 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 And men too. I think that's like, again, like I said, over the time, um, those numbers, or those, just the common nature of it has declined.
yeah,
Um, I think that is it's part in like how we being raised. It's so much stuff that we've already talked about here that I think will even factor into that.
yeah,
We could go on social media right now, and if you spend 10 or 5-10 minutes on social media scrolling, you're gonna see some divisive content. You're gonna see some content that's meant to separate men from women, whether black or white, however you want to put it. So that's part of it too. Like we kind of like in today's time, we've kind of like been brainwashed to believe that being a certain way is okay, and in some instances it is, right? Because
yeah,
if being alone is more healthier for your well-being than being in a relationship, then by all means.
yeah,
You feel me? But we seem to like glorify that, when I think, to your point, I think we should strive for that. We should strive to like find a partner, and a lot of it is this, Davon. So we gotta work, we be having to work on ourselves.
yeah,
And people don't like it. It take accountability. You feel me? Because you can get people like that person that you said, we all know somebody, they've had people in their lives. They have. It ain't like they just been sitting home all by themselves their entire life. They've had boyfriends, they've had children's fathers, or whatever, girlfriends or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that a large part of that, being able to connect with somebody on that level, is going to come along, and especially to be successful in your marriage, is going to come along with like self growth, evolution. And I think that again, going back, a lot of us not being raised in that space, so we latching on to things, taking them to the grave with us when we should have let them go 30 years ago. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I think it's something that I strive for. I live that way. Jazz and I aren't married, but that's my wife. The only thing that's stopping it is the piece of paper. You follow me? However, that's how we live. That's my mentality. You feel me? Like I trust her with everything from my finances all the way down to my children. You feel
Yeah.
me? And I think that's a large part of it too, is having the right person too.
Yeah.
We have the tendency of latching on to people, and like you said, we worrying about how it looks rather opposed to what it truly is.
Right.
You feel me? So yeah, I think there's a lot that goes into why it's those numbers have declined so much. You feel me? If they've ever been high, but I mean, if you look at our community and look at how society is being run, it makes sense.
Yeah, I know a lot of people just spend a lot of money on weddings and they're no longer married right now. I can remember sending out the invitations and a destination wedding and the crying and all that. Now, where is it now? So I'm just saying this, choose wisely because a lot of people get wrapped up in that facade that look what we doing, let's go ahead and do this, not knowing this. You've seen those red flags beforehand. You've seen those things that happen. You just put your blinders on and you treat it like it was Six Flags, not red flags. You just going on a roller coaster on a ride, not knowing. Shit, I get seasick. I get motion sickness. They tell you I can't ride roller coasters, so I don't look at it as no red flags. I look at Six Flags, I look at it red flags. Like you got to
Hmm.
be aware of everybody. Everything that glitters ain't gold. So I just implore anybody that if you are exploring marriage and you go through the couples counseling, go through the marriage counseling, talk to people, try to figure out this exactly, are y'all compatible? Do y'all want to make changes? Are y'all both willing to be adaptable because marriage is, they say that the human brain changes every 7 years. I think it's something called a
Mm.
7 year itch, which they say in marriages, whereas doing after the 7 year, you get that itch like, damn, do I want to go ahead and dip off? Do I want to mess with somebody else or something like that? Like
Hmm.
it's actually a clinical term of a 7 year itch. So like you
Hmm.
just gotta be aware, like it's this person that you really with, you want to be with long term. So
Yeah, yeah. I can agree with that. I could see that, and yeah. I know that. I know that for me, I want to, and like you said, things can happen, right? But for me, it's like I want to. I've wasted enough time in my life, at 38 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like and you don't know, right? Because
yeah,
I couldn't have told you that I would be doing this. If you would have asked me 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to tell you that I was doing this. So you really don't know how
yeah,
life changes. However, I think, I say this thing a lot in my conversation lately too, is like being intentional. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And keeping God involved in everything. I'm not saying that, just being in tune with God, I think is enough.
yeah,
However, I think being intentional along with keeping God, a lot of things can work out. You follow me? And that's like, so I would dread, like at this point in my life, bro, I've been through so many ups and downs. I would dread like going through a situation like that where I've spent the last 10 years of my life going one way and I gotta literally stop and figure out a new at that age, at
yeah,
that point, we're talking 50. That's not, if that's the case, then I could have just spent the last 10 years going in the direction that I now have to go in at 50. You feel me? And, that's just my thing. I want to be intentional. I try to be intentional in the things that I do and the things that I get involved in, and even the relationships I build. You feel me?
no, see, I'm gonna be intentional too. I just told my girl yesterday, let this not work out. I'm gonna go find women 6'7", 6'8". I'm impregnating them. I'm gonna make an NBA, baseball, football team. I'm gonna have athletes. You gonna remember my name when I say I'm going to the Dominican Republic. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of Puerto Rican baseball players,
This
Dominican
boy,
players.
shout out.
I'm just man. I'm telling you, that's what I told her. I ain't playing. Like we gonna make this work, or I'm gonna go to work. You hear me? Like either we gonna be married, or I'm just gonna be a nigga with a whole bunch of kids out here.
And you gotta just like, I think I'll speak for like people like myself and people alike, and maybe even like you when I say this, right? Like at this point, how we've like been. I don't know everything, but I've been around you and all that stuff. How we could have been or how we used to be, we aren't that way. We've grown up from that. We might not be perfect. You follow me? However, but being home at night on a Wednesday, even though I'm in the room, I'm at home. You feel
Right.
me? On a Wednesday night with your family is a reach away. If they need you, we could pause this and they could go over there rather than ripping and running the streets chasing
Yeah.
after that one. Look at you looking for that one. You feel me? It's a blessing in that. You feel me?
Nigga, now I'm right now. I'm in the house. I'm chilling with the kids. I could have been somewhere on do not disturb. You know, with the phone like this. Hey, you know, when the
On,
phone
on the
like this.
FaceTime.
And hold, I'll be right back. I'm about to go to the. Come on, man. You ain't even got to deal
You
with
could
this.
have been anywhere in the world, but you here with
You
me.
here with
Real
me.
shit.
Appreciate that. Like I ain't on that type time because that type time gets you nowhere. Because the only thing about lies and being deceitful, it's easy to remember the truth. It's hard to remember a lie. It's
Keep up
hard to
with your
keep
life.
up
Yeah.
with a lie. See
Yeah.
me, that's why I'm so comfortable with I am in the truth. I could tell you right now, baby, I wasn't at that bitch house, and right now, then 2 weeks later, I can still tell you I wasn't at her house because it's not a lie. It's nothing to formulate and oh yeah, no, like it's the truth is the truth. That's where I be at with it. I ain't got time to be lying and nowhere getting accused and nothing. Like I'm alright.
Yeah, and even I would say even for the women involved, I would say the same thing for them. Like it's their life matters too. So the time that you spend it with me, that's valuable time spent even for you. That's your valuable time. So
Yeah,
why not? Let's at least try to make the best of it. You feel me? It ain't gonna be perfect, but at least let's work and try to make the best out of it. And that's pretty much the type time that I'm on and how I've been on.
you gotta have that mindset. I got another one for us. Good question. At what age do you think it's time to transition from the streets to the legal field? To
You mean like from ripping and running to like settling down, like getting married?
not settling down, getting married, but more ripping and running to settle down, getting a legal job. Like
That shit been like I would say like anything past 30, and that's I mean shout out to whoever can make it work. You feel
right,
me? They've learned. I wasn't the biggest street bull, but I've been around, and it's enough. Today is nothing like how it was when I was a teenager. You feel me? I know
yeah,
I might sound like the average old head, but I would say like once you get to that, for real, let's say this: the street. Let's just stay out the street. Let's not go to the streets. Period. If you're
yeah,
not out there because you don't have no other choices, you really have you against a rock and a hard place, and your back is against the wall. Don't
yeah,
even go out there. It ain't no
yeah,
sense to be out there. However, I get it, right? Because this life hard. I've been working jobs since I've been 16. I never was like no getting money illegally. Everything I ever had, it came through me working a job. You feel
yeah,
me? I'm not. I ain't mad at anybody that can make it work. However, it's so much of a risk, and
yeah,
when you start having children, we talking about building families, all this stuff, right? Like it becomes more of a risk. You end up putting yourself. You end up risking you end up having more to lose than to gain in that space because the money is just the money. The money could come and go. That's a lesson that I've been learning the hard way over through life. But money gonna come and go, bro. You only get one life. You feel
yeah,
me? And to to end up in a situation where you lose your life, whether it's to the jail or to the to violence, it wasn't worth it at no point. I don't give a fuck how much money you was getting. It won't be worth it. You feel me? So to answer your question, I would say like for like if I was talking to a young bull, I would advise all the way against any street activity and shit. But for somebody that kind of like understand and know how it work, and it might have worked for them, and they had run and they kind of like good, I would say like once your kids kind of like old enough to start picking that shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I
yeah,
don't know how that would fit on somebody, but even that, like, do we want to do what kind of example do we want to lead our sons down that same path? Do we want our daughters to be in the car with a nigga like me and something go bad for him? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that you kind of like put at risk by setting any kind of example for your child, right? But I would say like by your 30s, that shit, you know what I'm saying? Unless it worked for
yeah,
if you unless you getting it and it made sense. But even in that, bro, like you should be like you said, it ain't saying like if you was getting money like that, if you get money like that, you could cross over and start your own business. Why not start your own businesses?
yeah.
It's
So
not
that's
to
why
say
I I agree
Good.
exactly what you're saying, but I wouldn't even relegate it to an age. I would relegate it to an amount. Yeah, you've made this decision in your life. You don't, you may have different decisions and choices and avenues you went through, and this may be your only option at this point. But it's like there's other ways. Like Jay-Z said, "Lord, forgive me. I never would have made it without sin. I rob, I sin. I'm Jackie Robinson." Like he had to show you, like, yeah, I had to get it a little ways out,
He
bad
said,
out
I
the
ain't invent the game. I just rolled the dice, try and get some
way.
change. Yeah.
Change. Like so, it's like, yeah, if you in
And I
that
do
street,
it twice. And he
yeah.
said I'll do it twice if I had to do it again.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like if you in that, I'm not imploring anybody to doing nothing illegal or anything. This is all for educational purposes, how they say on the
What's the
videos.
amount? What's the amount that you speak of? What would that amount be
I
for you?
personally believe you can transition out the game. Really, you ain't got no debt in that. You can transition out the game about 25, 30 racks.
See, I'm thinking a bean. I was
Yeah,
going to think
no,
a
you
bean,
wouldn't
but
even. That's listen, 25, 30.
that's
You they
crazy.
got they got things where though you can go get a lot for $5,000. You can go get a
Yeah.
business, add into a smoke shop or a laundromat or something. It's different ways where though you can transition. Whereas though yeah, that 25 is it's going to get you another maybe 25 that year, maybe 30. But you got to think that's year after year after year after year. You didn't already just bought your re up. Look at it like that. You bought your lifetime supply re up with the 25. Now you
Hmm.
just got to keep adding. You just got to keep making your profit, and then go ahead and keep getting some more. Getting your profit. You got to look at it as street if you're looking at it like that.
I'm,
So
I'm saying a bean, but okay. All right.
I'm
And
saying
again,
like
also,
25,
I'm
30. You even a foot fraction into something. So as though I got a food truck. And then I'm just
yeah,
go ahead and
yeah.
anything. So it's though you don't. People think we need so much amount of money. You don't. Even if
Hmm.
you're on a low scale, you got 2 racks and you just ready to get out the game. Go get you a LLC. Go get you a DUNS number. Go get you an EIN. Go get you a business bank account. A product that you could sell, buy for 7, sell for 27, and keep doing that. Just that's it. Like
I was
it's
I also thought about too when you asked the question. I thought about two things, like the economy, you know what I'm saying, the cost of living and shit like that, because I always think about, like, even when I was doing decent, I always thought about being ahead of rent. Like,
yeah,
if I could pay that shit months ahead, that's what I'll
yeah,
do. You feel me? Like, everything else is subjective. You feel me? But as long as the roof over the head and all that stuff, we can figure out everything else. And also, it was one other thing. The economy and damn it, it'll come back to me because it kept running away from me. But yeah, 20. What do you say? 25,000.
25, 30. Yeah. You can go. I'm telling you, you go get a food truck. You go get the safe serve license. You can go ahead and get a location, and you just grinding from there. And for the rest of your life, now you ain't got to keep looking over your shoulder. Only thing you got to look for is the policing or the ticketing or the food truck people. Like you ain't got to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so there's different ways to transition. You can go get a couple rental cars, used cars, buy them for 1,000 at an auction, sell them for 5, 6. Like it's so many different ways to generate money. So
Mm-hmm. Not only this, what it was. Not only the economy. I think about fucking left me again. Fucking. Oh, you caught how you was important to you. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So for the most part, most people who kind of like get it that way, they like expensive things. So
yeah,
I can see, like, if you just live with, obviously too, like, you don't want to cause attention. So if you somebody that could kind of like get that money and do it quietly, you ahead of the game. You feel me?
yeah,
So even that too, like, so I can see how 25 can work for somebody who don't have like they don't have a expensive taste for everything. They can
yeah,
kind of like live within their means. They just want the freedom. So
yeah,
yeah, that's what it was like. Just what's your spending habits like? Because motherfuckers start seeing random money. Motherfucker get 10,000, hit the mall. You
yeah,
feel me? We at the mall with it. You feel me?
yeah,
So I think, yeah, so I can see how like a 25, 30, I would say, like, for me, well, see, and also too, like, for me, I got kids. So that's why
yeah,
my mind say a bean too,
yeah,
because I'm like, take care of them. I can take care of them, in a decent manner. And then I can still do that thing, like I said, take care of rent. And then now I could go back and focus on the business and all that shit like that. So yeah. I get
Yeah,
it
no,
though.
it'd be stuff. Well, if they kids wouldn't even know I had the 25, the 100, or nothing. Y'all ain't getting shit until I'm up. Right now, that 25 is business. Shit, if
I ain't
you
mad at
invest
that.
in this, I gotta take care of the kids, cool. But right now, I gotta take care of me. So that 25
I
will
ain't mad
turn.
at that. Yeah, I fuck with it.
I get with y'all when it's legal, is though. When I'm giving it to you, I'm sending you cash yet. We ain't gotta worry about the cops. Where is this coming from? Oh no, I got W-2s and W-4s to show where it's coming from.
Mm. Real shit though.
I
Yeah.
got another one. So we next segment, we got any viewers on the Facebook on the Jizzle?
We got a few viewers right now. Nobody been leaving. I've been wanting people to leave a little, leave some
At least some comments,
comments.
man. We'll answer some
You know,
questions.
they just tap it in and out. You know, but we moving, we rolling along. What you got next?
All right, man. We got favorite segment. You can get with this or you can't get with that. So we give a quick one. Workplace romance. Can you get with it or you can't get with it?
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say yes, bro, because that's a large part of me and Jasmine's foundation. Is this thing right here? I was just talking about that the other day, and I said, babe, it was so crazy when I used to live in PA, and we was doing the podcast. We had first started doing the podcast. Jasmine would literally write up the whole episode. You follow
Yeah.
me?
Wow.
Now, my point is that we'd be on the phone damn near all day. And for real, she's so good at it. Like she'll draw up the whole episode, and all I do is just like review it.
All
Like, all
right.
right, well, look, like maybe go back and add this. But my point is, we also in a relationship, so we might argue throughout the day. We might, have a disagreement. You feel me? But for the most part, the goal is to build the business, around even our relationship. We talked about marriage and all that stuff. But the goal is to build things like, my thing is to stay creative, and how Jazz helps with that. Jazz is creative also. How she helps my creativity is to she structures it. That's why I give it, I need when I before she came on, I was doing everything on my own, and it was like that quick, I got overwhelmed. Yeah, so when she came in, basically being the executive producer without me even asking her. So I said, why don't you do this? So I think if it has a good foundation and a good purpose, then
Yeah.
yeah, I can get with it, right? But I've had my fair share of rounds at the rodeo, and they weren't as, purposeful as what I do now. I was more than likely in my mind, in my space, just being me, right? But
Yeah.
um, I could definitely get with it if it has a great foundation and a good purpose to it. Anything other than that at this point in time is just you wasting time, you fucking around.
Yeah, I've had a lot of bad experiences with it. So I can't get with it. Yeah, fat
I
shouts
get
to
it.
my man. Fat shouts to my man Albert. Albert got me a job as a social worker, right? And Albert, when I first
Shout
started
out to
working there,
Albert, man. Yeah, shout out the big Al.
Albert's first words when I first got this job, he said, "Bro, this is the one of the most highly sexual jobs you're going to be in. Like it's I don't know if it's
Amazon?
child
Y'all was working at
welfare.
Amazon?
No, this was we was social workers. He said this
Right,
is one
right,
of the
right.
most highest. Like, and I say like I would go out of town, move a kid, and be hitting somebody that run the program out in a whole nother state.
Yeah,
I would
I'm not
go.
mad.
I'm the kinship lady that's doing the paperwork. I'm hitting her. I'm going in the courtroom. The lady who waiting outside the courtroom for me to talk, I go hit. Like when I say I'm
The
hitting everything,
stenographer? He hit the lady that's
I'm
typing the word?
I'm hitting everything, and it's just like it's such a highly like I don't know what it is to use your brain or what, but it's highly sexual
Mm.
feel towards those like. All right, now it's getting too bad. Now I got females arguing with each other at work. They mad. Somebody saying something. Somebody then came up pregnant. Like somebody, all kind of like. Listen, it was to the point where I like this too much. So it's like I would never ever go down that route again. Like no, with nobody I work with. Like it's not productive. It's not gonna be good. You gonna feel some kind of way when I'm coming to the office or we see each other in the meetings or on the Zoom shit. Like it's uncomfortable. Like I've had so many different women I dealt with while I was working, and it was like none of it turned out good. So
Listen, I get it, bro, and I would agree with you. I just think that it plays into like, and again, like I was a lot younger, like in my like earlier 20s, right?
Yeah,
However, I think it just comes along with like just being in that, being around that people, or being around those people for large amounts of time, and or you working it. Not only he said sexual, I can only imagine that it could be a bit stressful too. You follow
yeah,
me? So what you guys kind of like, I can see like in that field how it's kind of like it coincides, right? You
yeah.
understand me, I understand you. Next thing you know, we blowing off some steam. Let's go have some drinks, get some wings and shit. I get it. I understand. I get it. I get it. I get it. But I wouldn't. Like I said, I wouldn't do it. Period. Now, like you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying. But when I was younger, I was just like
Times, good times. When
flexing.
you're young, good times.
I'm like a manager and shit like that. So I'm like, like
You're in
just
a
filling
position of
myself up.
authority.
Yeah, I'm drunk. I'm drunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out
You
of here.
like,
Like,
come
what
on,
are you
baby
doing?
girl. You want an extra couple hours this
You
week?
but HR about to be on the front of that page of the Daily News and shit because of some HR shit. So yeah, no, that shit ain't good. That shit ain't no good, bro. And it's kind of like I said. So the flip side of that is again, like even whether I use Jazz and me as an example or anybody that I know plenty of husbands and wives who had businesses together.
Yeah,
It's the same thing, right? But it's more. It's not so reckless and so loosely, being carried out. You follow me? When you're young, you just thinking, just moving however you're moving. But as you get older, things you should do things with intent. And I intend to build this thing up with Jazz. Jazz is a large part of what we do here on the YBG network. So I can get with it. Like I said, if it has purpose to it.
it's a blessing for you. I don't want no business with my wife. I see your ass when I get home. Say, nah, I'll invest in it. No, we can have a little businesses out, but I want to do. I just pop in and out. I don't. I feel as
Mhm.
though what they say, familiarity breeds contempt. Like when you're around somebody all the
Mm.
time, all the like, you eventually you get tired. You wear your welcome out. So I never want her to wear her welcome out with me, or me wear my welcome out with her. So it's like sometimes if I
Mm.
feel like I'm about to go to the store, baby. It's one like what they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder. So like sometimes you gotta have a little distance and space, you know. Nah,
Working a
you're
nine
with
to
man.
five, working a 9 to 5, and then coming home with the person that you just worked from eight. Y'all work 8 to 5 with each other. Get off
And
with
then
each
come
other. Go
home and I
home,
god
yo.
damn.
Yeah, no, that shit draw.
And then at
Yeah,
night
that
you
shit
might be
draw.
like, yeah, I don't even want no ass. Just go to bed. Like,
Just get
damn.
away.
All
I
right, we got
just want to
another one.
scroll on YouTube.
For real, and I think that's a side note though. I think that is one of the dopest things though. Like sometimes you can be in a room with your significant other and y'all both just in y'all phones or something. And it's not even a problem. It's just I want to be in my zone, but I want you to be in my space. And I think that's really a beautiful thing. So I got another one. Can you get with this? Or you can't get with that. Having the same baby mama as one of your homies.
Yeah, no, I can't. I can't get with that shit, dog.
I'm from Panther.
That's
I know a lot of niggas that got babies by the same woman. So
yeah, no, that's something different, bro. Like like that's as your homie, as your dog. Yeah, no, like I can't get with that, dog.
yeah, I
No.
got a couple. I'm from my neighborhood. I'm from. I got a couple people, and they may not. I mean, they still speak as cordial now, but it's like at one point they hated each other. They didn't. The females. So I got a lot of homies, uncles, old heads share the same baby mom. At least three or four, like share the
So
same
I'm saying
baby
you
mom.
saying when you say homies, you mean like I could understand like two men having children by one person, however that go, and then them becoming cordial, and then it turns into them being, I guess, cool. Like, yeah, no, that's what I could kind of
No,
like
no,
understand
niggas
that.
was cool. Niggas was cool first
Oh
before
yeah,
the
no,
baby. Yeah.
yeah, no, 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 not baby moms. I get it because that shit forever. I can see. I ain't even gonna say girlfriends. I could see like, oh, you used them, oh, you was messing around with that. I mean, even that's a bit much, right? Baby moms like forever, like this my man, and then we got this. Like, how do you explain it? Maybe you don't. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good off of that. Yeah, I'm cool.
Right, so we got another one. Stealing for necessities or looting for fun? Which one you getting with?
Stealing for necessities and shit. Like I ain't looting for shit, dog. Like that's crazy. Like I get survival. I get like I just like being so like to a point where you. It's so funny. It's great. It's funny that you bring that up because I've been watching this. It's called gas station encounters, and they based in Cleveland, Ohio. You feel me? But Bull do like they always come to his store. This nigga, he got millions of subscribers on YouTube, but they always come to his gas station and steal. And what he'll do is he'll watch you steal. He got high class security. He'll watch you steal, let you come to him, pay for your shit. Then he'll follow you outside like, fuck is wrong with you? You a dickhead? Like white boy and shit. Yeah, I love watching them Jones and shit. Right,
Yeah,
but yeah, no, that looting for fun, like looting is I can't get with looting because the looting that I've only ever been exposed to is like within our own communities. Niggas never looted. Like niggas be mad about some shit. Niggas never go where they mad at and fuck they shit up. They'll fuck their own shit up. So I'm cool off of that. But I can get with like if you down on hard time and you gotta do what you gotta do. I ain't I'm not recommending it, but I understand and I wouldn't judge you. But that I might judge you for looting and shit. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't with that shit. I might judge you for looting and shit. Especially if you fucking up you from Upper Darby and you fucking up 69th Street. That's what these niggas, like my man, his girl, his lady at the time, her family had a store on there. They had my man, like he was out there with his, my lady out here with her family. She with her family making sure they okay. Now I'm forced to go out there because she out there. Like he ready to like put his life on the line. Yeah, no, these niggas are just fucking up shit for nothing. I mean, I ain't gonna say for nothing because it was for something.
yeah,
I just don't get fucking up your own shit is what I'm talking about. You
right.
feel me? That's my shit.
No, I'm in agreement.
Yeah,
Agreement.
yeah.
Name 3 white celebrities that you would invite to the cookout.
For sure we added Adam Sandler. That's my man. I put Adam Sandler was on my top 5 comedians when we did like a couple episodes
You
back.
just like this non-dressing nigga so much. Go ahead, invite
My
Adam.
God.
He got on basketball shorts and a oversized tee.
And Bank doing he said what's my man what's the boy from the Animal, what's his name, Rob Schneider.
Yeah,
Rob Schneider got canceled a few years back, but that's his man. He said no matter what he pay him $1 million every time he do a new movie. He get him, even if it's just a cameo, $1 million. That's my man. I don't care. You
yeah.
feel me? Like that type of joy. And that's why I fuck with Adam Sandler, because he take care of his people. You know what I'm saying? You go to his movies, you're gonna see him throughout the whole time. So definitely Jim Carrey. Me and Jazz just watched what we just watched, The Mask, not too long ago. I think we're gonna watch, I'm gonna try entice you to watch Ace Ventura Pet Detective. And one other person, who I rock with like that. You know how I'm gonna rock with? I'm gonna go with female. You know how I like is it Chelsea? She used to fuck with 50.
Chelsea Handler. Yeah.
Yeah, come on through. Pull up. You know what I'm saying? Come get a plate. You feel me? So give me Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey, and Chelsea.
You got all 3 white people that ain't bringing nothing but potato salad with raisins in it. You hear me?
They ain't gotta bring nothing. I just want them to pull up.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm bringing some white people that can actually bring some shit with
That's
us.
gonna
I'm
bring
bringing
okay.
Rachel Ray. Her
Mhm.
motherfucker ass could cook. I'm gonna bring the Hardy Boys. They like music. They was singing.
Okay.
And
I see what you did there.
like they got the sauce. And then the last, trying to know if I want to go Tom Holland because he might bring Zendaya, so he might lose Zendaya at the cookout. Or I don't know. I like Sandra Bullock, so we're gonna say females. For I'm about to say Sandra Bullock. Cause Sandra Bullock, she done adopted a black daughter. She official. She did The Blind Side.
Mm-hmm.
She for
I rock with that.
she for the
What's the
culture.
joint name? What's the cook? What's the old head name? She had the white hair, kind of like
Paula
puffy.
Dean.
Paula Dean.
Paula Dean said nigga. You know
She
she
said
was.
nigga.
Yeah, Paula Dean said nigga. Yeah, she wouldn't
She
be.
did. So that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, what did she do? Okay.
Yeah.
She said nigga or nigger.
Oh, no, I don't think it was good
Either
because
one. All right. Okay. Either one. But Jazz get mad. She don't like to hear that hard er. She don't like that shit.
I guess she's not liking the Young Thug new song that's #1 in Arkansas right
Nah.
now.
Damn. Number one in Arkansas is crazy. They
Number
wild.
one rap song in Arkansas. And how he's saying it is, I call all my ops.
Niggers. Oh, my
Yeah.
fault.
Oh,
My
yeah, that
fault.
was.
Jazz probably mad as shit. Listen to this shit. Why did he say
I
it?
wasn't. All right. Got another one for you. What do you feel is the biggest kept secret that is kept from us as humans?
Oh, I like that. Um, I'm gonna say two things. I'm gonna go wide range. Then I'm gonna bring it in. I'm gonna say the biggest kept secret would be like how this shit really started. Right. I do believe in God. Right. I don't question God. I don't. At no point in my life have I ever questioned God. However, there are people who do, and I think all things, even the people that question God or don't believe in God, I should say, um, to me, they believe in things that I believe God had a hand in creating. You follow me?
Right.
So I think it's all God, right? But how it really operates and how it really came about. I go to the ocean and I get it, right? We just another John Jazz had me watching the Katrina. It was a Katrina documentary, and whenever I see large bodies of water, I always like wonder, like, damn. And I get it, right? Because I might have missed that science class. I'll be honest, right? But even when I know that the Earth makes up of a lot of water. However, how did it get here, and why did whoever put it there? Why was it necessary? There's a lot of questions. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where did it come from and why is it there? And how did it fit into the places in which it fit in? And then now we got what we have. Those are the questions that I have, right? So when you ask me to like the biggest kept secret, I would say like those things, like how I think if we really like get to the nitty gritty, because I know I understand the Bible, right? But also understand that man had a hand in it, right? So I'm talking about the real, how this shit really started. And then the next thing is going to be if you ask some people, there ain't no secret about how the pyramids came about. You follow me? You ask the right person, probably have all the answers for you. You follow me? But however, that's another mystery, if you will. The pyramids in Egypt. I think that's somebody. I think somebody understand, but they utilize they like the what's the 3 card money and shit. Try to scramble your brain about it and shit. So yeah.
All right, so that's some deep ones. I'm gonna say my two would be that because if you look it up in just geology in the Bible and different artificial, texts that are historical texts, we actually lived longer a long time ago. We
Mm-hmm.
weren't just here for 100 some years. Like the body is actually meant to be prolonged. And I think that one of the biggest secrets that they keep from us is that belief that we're supposed to get 70, 80, 90 and then die actually allows us to get 70, 80, 90 and then die. Or we like just look at how back in the day, how an old person looked then, how somebody looks now. Because it's like, how do we're not around that many old people that say that I'm supposed to get this age and that's how I'm supposed to look. It's like we've crafted in our own minds of how we're supposed to age, and I think that that's changed the way we age. So my biggest thing, I think that the biggest secret that's kept from us is like what I always say, like your attitude is so stronger than how much you think, like how you perceive life, um, things you go after. You can get so much more just based off of your thought process. So like you can achieve, you can believe it, you can achieve it. So I really believe that that's something that's really hidden from us as humans.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that may also I agree. First off, let me say that I don't disagree. I agree that like when you say your attitude determines your latitude, right? And I do. I think a lot of things, even the things that you speak of, you follow me, the things that you say out your mouth, that plays a large part into it. I think the large difference between that time that you speak of and now It's like, motherfuckers be eating meat and shit like that. Them old heads wasn't doing that. You feel me? They was eating all natural sources, and
Yeah.
they didn't have to pay for none of it. They just had it, or if they harvested. You feel me? They like the government really. I don't want to get too crazy, but the government really like chopped this up. You feel
Yeah.
me? But it's about control, being in control of things and people and however this should go. But they wasn't eating, they wasn't killing. Like that's some Neanderthal shit. Like motherfuckers wasn't having to do that. They would nourish themselves from the earth. So that alone, you follow me? And it wasn't with no pesticides, none of that shit. It might have
Yeah.
had dirt, but even the dirt was natural. Like
Was
you know what
that
I'm
was
saying?
that good for us? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. No, it's been a good joint. I just got two more for us. We wrap it
Okay.
up.
The Man Cave. Brought to you in part by the YBG Network.
Okay.
Who is your MVP of the season thus far?
I'm gonna say between Gibbs and I like Cook from the Bills. Them two, they my top two guys right now.
All right.
Can't go wrong with them guys.
So my MVP right now, even though he did lose to the Eagles, he's just been so clutch. I'm right now, and it's sad to say, Baker Mayfield. Like
Okay.
the numbers he's putting up right now, how clutch he is. If you look at like I think 4 or 5 games throughout the season, he's losing in like the last few minutes of the game, and then coming back and getting the win every game. So if he keeps this up, they possibly get to the NFC Championship, beat the Eagles. I mean, I don't know, but I just think based off his numbers and how he's playing, there's nobody else that really jumps off the page to me like that in the NFL
Yeah,
right
no.
now.
I mean,
I think
Diggs had a good game the other night, but I wouldn't call him an
yeah, that
MVP.
was
But
a revenge game. Like
yeah, he dominated. He did dominate, but I wouldn't say like MVP. I think the other guys they've been more consistent throughout the season thus far. You feel
yeah,
me?
no, I'm in agreement. All right, last joint. Just we wrapping up our first season as this Black Dad podcast, and just I know we got the season finale coming up soon. That we're gonna go on a little hiatus, but just wanted to end this episode with any goals or messages that you want to tell your kids or to aspire after, or just any messages or any type of motivational speeches you would want to tell your kids.
Oh, I like that. I actually I talked to my oldest son the other day. I kind of like had one of them kind of conversations with him. That situation a little like rocky, but not rocky. Like what I'm saying. It's rocky for
Yeah,
lack of a better word, right? However, like I'm at a point with him where I need him to like really stand up, and it's hard for him to like do that because of his mother's style of parenting, and they just don't mesh well. You follow me? And especially, it's a bunch of other things that doesn't mesh well concerning that. But I just had a kind of, it's funny that you asked that because I just had a conversation with my oldest son concerning that. However, I would just say to all my children, right? To keep putting themselves first. We have a tendency, and I kind of went through it as a youth, that I had the tendency to kind of like follow after people or look for validation in others. You follow
yeah,
me? Because I didn't have nobody to really like, my mom was there, but my mom was working. I don't want to, I'm not trying to tell no like story like I had it like the worst, because I didn't, right? However,
yeah,
mama, I was only, if you know me, it was only like that because my mom bust her ass. So
right,
the side effects of that is that she's not always available for everything. You follow
right,
me? Idle time is the devil's playground. So nonetheless, I would say, like, tell my kids to like really like remain in tune with who they truly are, not to look for validation on the outside, but from within. Another thing too, another thing that's different. My mom at least took me to church. And not that I'm like the biggest church guy, but I think that's how I'm able to have my like relationship with God, is because that's how I was raised. You feel
yeah,
me? Like for me, I had children young, so I wasn't going to church. You know what I'm saying? So that's something else that I want to like instill in my children is to like, rely on God instead of looking for friends or for my daughters looking for a new boyfriend or, trust in yourself, trust in God and then trust in yourself. My children, all of them, they're very talented and gifted in many different ways.
Right.
Shout out to all of them. They all have the ability to do great things, and it's another reason why I started this thing right here because So one of the goals you asked, like, what's one of the goals, and I just shared this with my daughter Imani a few days not too long ago, and I told her, me and her, we having this thing, but we kind of like at a space where the communication is available.
Yeah.
Even if it's not like reciprocated or repetitive, it's open, it's there. You follow
Right.
me? And I'm grateful for that. So one of the things I said to my daughter the other day was, I let her know she might. This is the thing. She don't know me for doing this thing here. She see me doing this, and she might not really like. It might really just like I see her doing great things. She's not my baby girl no more. She a young lady. You feel
Yeah.
me? So we have to like learn how to we have to readjust and relearn how to be a part of each other's lives. Unfortunately, right? But that's just what it is. And I let her know like the reason why I started this thing, and I even told her like, my daughter's very well. I've been to many award shows for, award ceremonies for her. She's been the class president. She's on the student council. So I tell like she don't like for real, like she should be doing the interviews when I bring the young bulls on. You feel me? She might be a lot more attracting, not attractive, but attracting
Yeah.
and relatable to the younger crowd when we do
Absolutely.
like young, black, and gifted. But I shared that with her. You know what I'm saying? So that's like my goal is to continue pushing this thing. And like I said, all my children are creative in all kinds of ways. And it's going, my thing is the reason why I decided to broaden this thing to the network is because no matter what it is, I wanted to connect somehow, some way. I don't, my daughters do hair. My
Yeah.
two oldest daughters, but my oldest daughter never did hair. I always knew that my second oldest daughter would do hair. My oldest daughter, she wound up having a daughter. So yeah, she know how to do hair. Because otherwise that would be another bill. And she's good at it.
Yeah.
Like great at it, damn near. You feel me? So, even if that's a thing, we could promote. I could promote them. So my point is that's why this is so important to me because I know that at some point in time it had become beneficial, or I'll create something else that's going to be beneficial to who my children truly are. And I think that's they do a lot of different things, but I'm talking about like who they truly are. We pick up things that society like deals to us, and we'll pick it up, and then we'll be good at them. You know what I'm saying? Like I drove forklifts for 5 years and shit like that. And it was a thought to one day have like a lumber yard, and it's still on the table.
Yeah.
I could do my own lumber yard. You feel me? It's
Right.
many, like you talked about having a lot. You feel me? We just talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
Buy you a lot, turn it, find your lumber plug, and then now you got your lumber yard. We sell drywall, we sell 2x4s, and we sell
Oh,
sheetrock. You feel
yeah.
me? Not sheetrock. What's the other one? Concrete. You feel me? So to answer your question, and then I'll let you go. My goal is to bring this thing together and have it become beneficial to all people involved.
Yeah.
You feel me? We talked last week about the BET thing, and I told you, like, bro, we could do all that shit. We could do that shit. You feel me?
I'm on with you.
Shout out to you mentioned Albert. Albert kind of like enticed me to post something earlier. If you see my comment, John, and I said, I say so. Again, a lot of my shit be ideas, but it has to start somewhere. We gonna really fuck around. Like I was talking to Jazz about it earlier. She the one that gave me the idea. Like you should really do that. You feel me? We gonna fuck around and do something great with that comment thing. But my message to my children is love yourself, find God, confide in Him, find comfort in Him, and then come find me, and then let's get this shit rocking. You feel me? That's my message.
For my squad, I just say love yourself, love others. Um, if you ever want to see God, it's just one random act of kindness at a time. Like you can see God in just one random act of kindness. Do it for somebody, feed somebody, help somebody, clothe somebody. Um, when you refresh others, God will always refresh you. Um, Another thing is, and I leave it like this: a little bit and a lot. Just that term alone, it could mean a little bit to somebody, or it can mean a lot. You could do a little bit for somebody, but it feels like a lot. You can do a lot for somebody, but to them it only feels like a little. You can pray a lot, and God will, give you a little, or you could pray a lot, and you could pray a little, and God will still just give you a lot. So it's just that term, just a little bit and a lot. Just always be aware of it. Just like it's like a metaphor, it's a mind fuck somewhat, but at the same time, it's just like it'll keep you appreciative and just understand. Like, 'cause like I said, you can get somebody a little bit of money, but to them it feel like a lot. Or you can give somebody a lot of money and then they ungrateful, but to them it only feel like a little. So you gotta understand, like, what people in your life will look at you as a lot, and what people in your life would only consider you to be a little. So that would be my message to the squad.
Word. Shout out to the squads, man. For sure, for sure.
Yeah, my core four. That's what I call them.
Word.
Ever got seven heaven, seven.
Super seven. Yeah.
Yeah, but nah, man, it's been another great episode.
Yes, sir.
Mister's got the plate on the stove waiting for me. I'm about to get
Woo,
out of
I can't
here.
wait. Yeah.
I'm about to bust this grub. I fasted all day today. I didn't eat like not one meal or nothing.
Mm.
I've been doing this a lot, and this intermittent fasting has like really been helping, like really healthy. People don't realize that the longer you go without eating, the more it gives your body a chance to get out all those bad cells,
Toxins. Yeah.
toxins, all of that. It refreshes it. So I've been doing just like one meal every night for the past couple nights, and throughout the day, you somewhat hungry, but man, it's so beneficial to your body in the long run. I've never felt like physically better. So
Shout out to Jay, man, one of my good friends. That's something that he tends to do pretty frequent, and he talks about. And it's it's for your physical health, but I think when you talk about fasting, not just fasting from like eating, but even like
social
people
media
and
fast, all
circumstance,
that.
all that. Yeah. He deep in that shit. And earlier when I was talking about like the seasons, that's like you want to be in tune because this thing really is happening, it's moving around you, and it can be effective to your whole existence. So I think being aware of that and even intentional in everything that you do, even in like fasting and all that stuff, is very beneficial and healthy.
Yeah. That was it right there. Just
That
I
was it.
we ended with just a message to the squad, and then
Word,
as soon as you
word.
said that, then they just called me. So definitely,
Word. I'm gonna let you go. And this was a good joint, man. We reached over an hour, man. Great joint, bro. And we definitely will come back. Season 15, like you said, season finale. We'll take a break. Man. Shout out to you, man. Because like I said, this started with a little idea, and I'll be honest with you, I reached out to some other people. They flaked on me. And then I said, what the fuck are you doing, dog? Why don't you hit up Davone? As soon as I hit you up, here 15 episodes later. So bless you, bro. God bless you. Thank you for everything that you do and the things that you contribute. Shout out to the fam. We gonna get this shit rocking. We got some great shit rocking and rolling. Next time y'all see us, like Davon said, season finale, episode 15. And we gonna get to everything we talk about. Trust and believe it, man. So there you have it, episode 14. Black Dad Podcast. I'm underrated.
Pascal Rascal.
Pascal Rascal. There you go. We're going to get to you, man. We're going to holler at y'all later.
All right, y'all be safe.
This is only a test.